Hello everyone. Today's practical topic that is determination of platelet count. We'll see superficially theory part that is development of platelet. As you know, platelets develop in the bone marrow, right? So it develops from the pluripotent stem cells. Okay. Now these pluripotent stem cells will undergo further differentiation and gives multipotent stem cells. These multipotent stem cells giving rise to colony forming unit megakaryoblast. Now this megakaryoblast is the first precursor of platelet development, which is of 20 to 30 micrometer in diameter, having a cytoplasm and the nucleus, and cytoplasm is small. Then this megakaryoblast will undergo further endoreduplication. What is endoreduplication? That is, nuclear chromatin will replicate in multiples without any cell division. So, this megakaryoblast when undergo endoreduplication gives to promegakaryocyte, which has nucleus and cytoplasm, right? Now, this promegakaryocyte will undergo the further differentiation and gives megakaryocyte. This megakaryocyte is 30 to 40 micrometer in diameter, having this lobulated nucleus, granules in the cytoplasm, and pseudopores on the surface of the cells. From there, the platelets develop. One megakaryocyte can give 4,000 platelets. Now, what entire procedure I said, which occurs in the bone marrow, that is from the pluripotent stem cells to form mature platelet, this entire process takes place in a bone marrow in 10 days. So, days which are required to develop a mature platelet in a bone marrow is 10 days. Once a platelet develops in the bone marrow, then it comes out and released into the circulation. Characteristics of the platelet. The platelets are small, 2 to 4 micrometer in the diameter. Anuclear means do not have nucleus. Granular has alpha and dense granules, ovoid and rounded in shape. Having a half-life of 4 days and survival time in 8 to 12 days in a circulation. Destruction takes place in the reticuloendothelial system, that is in a spleen especially. Normal count in a bone marrow, normal count in a circulation of platelet, that is 1.5 to 4 lakhs per cubic mm. So functions of platelet. One of the important function that is hemostasis. What is hemostasis? That is arrest of bleeding or stoppage of bleeding by physiological process. It takes place with the several events, right? First, there will be vasoconstriction whenever there is damage to the capillary endothelium, right? So what happens? Damage to the blood vessel takes place. That time, vasoconstriction takes place. That is release of certain vasoconstrictor mediators, right? Then there will be temporary hemostatic platelet plug formation. So that occurs by adhesion of platelet to the damaged endothelium. Then on that there will be the aggregation of platelet, then release reaction, and this is how the temporary hemostatic platelet plug will be formed. Now the blood coagulation pathway takes place and forms permanent hemostatic platelet plug formation. Then there will be the retraction of the clot, okay, and there will be phagocytosis of foreign material like carbon particles, viruses, and immune complexes. Then there will be the storage of 5-hydroxytryptophan and histamine in platelet. 5-hydroxytryptophan is a serotonin. These are the vasoconstrictors which gets released when the platelets will disintegrate and it has to act on blood vessels. What are the methods of platelet count? So there are three methods. One is direct, then indirect, and then automated. Direct method by using the three things. Okay, so any of these things you can use in direct method. So that is 1% ammonium oxalate, recycled diluting fluid, and Brecker-Cronk method. Among these three, we are using in our lab 1% ammonium oxalate. This is a platelet diluting fluid. Okay, and the content of recycled diluting fluid you should be knowing. Okay. In indirect method, 14% magnesium sulfate solution you can use, and automated method S plus Coulter counter you are using. Okay. So important one, direct method and as I said, 1% ammonium oxalate, right? Now let's see the recycled diluting fluid content. So 100 ml of diluting fluid. Recycled diluting fluid contains sodium citrate 3.8 gram, brilliant crescent blue 0.1 gram, formalin 2 ml and distilled water 100 ml. So as the name suggests, sodium citrate, so that acts as an anticoagulant. Brilliant crescent blue, this stains platelet. Formalin acts as a fixative and it also causes a lysis of RBC. Distilled water we are using as a solvent. Now, principle of platelet count. The number of platelets in a sample of a diluted blood is counted in a hemocytometer of non-dimension. What we understand by this line, that is, we take a sample of blood, we dilute it with the diluting fluid. So, sample of diluted blood. Then we use the improved Newbar chamber and then we charge the chamber, right? And then we count the platelets. So, number of platelets in a sample of diluted blood counted in a hemocytometer of non-dimension. Now, based on this, we can come to know by total amount of platelet present in our body. So, from the number of the cells which are seen, the total platelet count of undiluted sample can be calculated. Okay. Apparatus, that is the instrument, compound microscope, then lancet pricking apparatus, then improved Newbar chamber, then RBC pipette, then cover slip, petri dish with the filter paper. This is new, which you are not using in RBC and WBC count. Then platelet diluting fluid. So platelet diluting fluid, that is 1% ammonium oxalate. So this is the picture of platelet diluting fluid. Okay, actually the platelet diluting fluid we are making it, okay, which is available in the lab, but we make it by mixing a 1 gram of ammonium oxalate powder in 1 liter of distilled water, okay, and the solution which is made is 1% ammonium oxalate, which is available readily in a lab. This acts as a anticoagulant, means it prevents the coagulation of blood, preserves the platelet and destroys the RBC. Now procedure, prick the finger under aseptic precautions, suck the blood up to 0.5 mark in RBC pipette, then suck the platelet diluting fluid up to 101 mark, and then you have to mix the solution and the blood. How you will mix? That is by holding a pipette horizontally between the two palms and then you have to mix it, okay, for the 10 to 15 minutes. This step you do in WBC and RBC count also. So it is in the same way, right? This I have shown in a video also. Then you have to wait for the 10 to 15 minutes so that the complete hemolysis of RBC takes place. Discard first 2 to 3 drops. Then you have to charge the improved Newbar chamber. Then place this charged chamber in a moist petri dish. Now what is this? That is, you take petri dish, then you take a filter paper in it, means you have to place the filter paper in petri dish. Then you have to wet the filter paper by using drops of distilled water. This I have shown in the video. And then you have to place the charged improved Newbar chamber in this wet petri dish, right? Then you have to wait for the 20 to 30 minutes to allow the platelets to settle down, and then you have to see the platelets in 40x. So WBC we are seeing in 10x, RBC and platelet you are seeing in 40x. These platelets are counted in central 25 squares. So this I have shown in next picture. So this is a diagram of improved Newbar chamber, right? So these are the 4 peripheral squares where you count WBC. This is a central square, right? Where you count RBC. Now in this central square, RBC you count in this four square, right? In the central, the four peripheral squares, and this is a central square. There you count RBC. But in platelet, we count in all the 25 squares. All the 25 big squares we use to count platelet, right? Now, how exactly the platelet look that is shown in this picture? So this is how the platelet looks in this, okay? And this looks like actually the refractile bodies. And when you do the fine adjustment, once you focus this part and you do the fine adjustment, the platelet will appear, disappear, appear, disappear. In that way, when you do the fine adjustment, you can see, but when there are artifacts, it will not do in the same way. Okay, so this is how you can differentiate the platelet and artifacts that I have shown in the video. Next is a video. Take a platelet diluting fluid, 1% ammonium oxalate in a test tube, or you can take in a watch glass. Now, under aseptic precautions, you have to prick the finger and suck the blood up to 0.5 mark in RBC pipette, which has been shown in the fourth picture here. Now you have to dip the tip of the RBC pipette in a platelet diluting fluid and suck the diluting fluid up to 101 mark. This is the procedure he is doing. And here in pipette 101, you can see, so up to this mark you have to suck the diluting fluid. Then you have to mix the blood and diluting fluid by holding pipette horizontally between two palms. Then after 10 to 15 minutes, discard 2 drops and then charge the Neubauer chamber by placing a cover slip. This is a procedure he is doing, charging the Neubauer chamber. Then take a petri dish, place a filter paper in it, and then with the drops of distilled water, you have to wet the filter paper. So this is, we are creating moist environment. And then in this we will place a Neubauer chamber, which you can see in the next. See here they have placed Neubauer chamber for 20 to 30 minutes. Now after this you have to focus in microscope in 40x in all the 25 central square. Now this is how the platelet looks. You can see this looks like a refractile bodies, and when you do the fine adjustment, how the platelet looks, it comes and goes. See, you can see here, you can see this. Now precautions. When you do this procedure, what are the precautions you have to take? You have to prick the finger bold enough, means your prick should be bold enough so that the free flow of the blood occurs and you can suck the blood up to 0.5 mark in a pipette. Then instrument, whatever we are using, should be clean and dry. We should not use broken cover slips, and whenever we are doing charging, it should not be overcharging or it should not be undercharging. And diluting fluid should not be contaminated with any of the dust particle or bacteria because it gives false result. Stage of microscope should not be tilted and counting to be done within 30 minutes. Now calculation. So see, as I said, this is a picture of the improved Neubauer chamber, right? See, what is the length into breadth of this is 3 mm into 3 mm, right? So this is 3 mm, this is also 3 mm, means up to from here to here it is 1 mm, from here to here it is 1 mm, and this is 1 mm. Same way it is square, so it is 1 mm, 1 mm, 1 mm, right? So now this you have to remember. Now this is important when we'll do the number of platelet counting calculation, right? So formula for this is N into dilution factor divided by volume. So now volume. So for that also formula is there that you all know, that is L into B into H, right? So here we have taken depth, so that is L into B into D. Now as you know that we are counting platelet in a central square. So what is this central square length into breadth? That is 1 mm into 1 mm. right? So this is 1 mm into 1 mm. So that is 1 mm into 1 mm. Now the depth. So as I said, then when we are charging a chamber, we are placing actually the cover slip. So the depth from the cover slip to this is 0.1 mm. So that's why we have taken 0.1 mm. So it is 1 mm into 1 mm into 4.1 mm, that is 0.1 mm cube, that is cubic mm. Dilution factor, that is 200. Now that also I'll say next how it is 200. Now we will take a how to count a dilution factor, right? So we'll take a, as I said that we are taking 0.5 part blood and up to 101 part fluid, right? And then we are mixing it, and then before charging we are discarding 2 to 3 drops, right? So when we are discarding 2 to 3 drops means up to the part 1, whatever amount of the fluid is there, platelet diluting fluid will be discarded off in that 3 drops. Okay, because while charging we need blood also with the diluted fluid. We don't need only diluted fluid, right? So that is why we are discarding 2 to 3 drops so that whatever the fluid is collected in a stem will be discarded off. Now then we are charging, right? So when we are discarding the up to the part 1, the fluid means out of 101, one part of the fluid is discarded, means the remaining is only 100. So in that 100, 0.5 part is blood, because blood and fluid has mixed here in the bulb, right? And 99.5 is fluid. So 0.5 is blood and 99.5 is fluid. So that we can create a formula now that 0.5 part blood in 100 part, then in 1 part how much? So 100 divided by 0.5, and that is 200. Another way you can remember that is, you can also say that the final volume which is achieved, because you already discarded up to part 1, right? So remaining is 100. So final volume which you achieved, that is 100, right? And divided by original volume of the blood which is taken, that is 0.5 pure blood, right? So that comes 200. Now what are the causes of thrombocytosis and causes of thrombocytopenia? So what is thrombocytosis? Thrombo means platelets and cytosis means increased in number. So what are the causes where the platelet count will increase in number? So normal count is 1.5 to 4 lakhs, right? So when it is more than 4 lakhs, we call it as a thrombocytosis. So causes can be trauma, like when there is hemorrhage or surgery. During that time, blood loss occurs, right? So what happens? As a compensation, because of the loss of the blood takes place, as a compensation in the bone marrow, the production of the cells increases, and that is why the cell count increases. Then in case of the stress, then in case of iron deficiency anemia, also the same, because as you all know, anemia also the number of the cells decreases, right? So in the bone marrow, as a compensation, the production of the cell will increase. In case of chronic infections, after epinephrine injections, and also in splenectomy, these are the causes where the platelet count increases. Now splenectomy, as I said, there also platelet count increases. So how it increases? See, as I said, the destruction of the platelet takes place in a spleen, right? So when we are doing splenectomy, means removal of a spleen. So what happens? There will be the destruction of the platelet in a spleen will not take place, right? And as a result, the count of platelet in our body will increase. Okay. Now causes of thrombocytopenia. Penia means decreased in number. Okay. So as you all know, the viral infections, there the count will decrease. As in case of the dengue, majority time there will be we get to see the thrombocytopenia, right? So that is one of the viral infection, dengue. Aplastic anemia, there also the bone marrow is not functioning normally, right? So activity is not normal. There also the aplastic anemia also the count will decrease. Idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, ITP. Then bone marrow suppression, when we are giving radiotherapy or chemotherapy to the patient, their bone marrow suppression takes place and count will decrease, as in case of hypersplenism. So a reason in hypersplenism why there is thrombocytopenia, that is opposite to the splenectomy reason. As I said, in splenectomy, there is spleen is removed, and that is why the platelet count is more, because destruction do not takes place. Here in hypersplenism, what happens? There will be platelet count will get the platelet will get destroyed there, right? So more amount of the platelet will get destroyed, and that is why there will be thrombocytopenia. Now, one of the clinical condition, that is purpura. So what is it? That is, it is a clinical condition where the capillary abnormality results in bleeding. So picture of this is this, right? What happens? There are hemorrhagic spots you can see. This is spontaneous hemorrhage you can get to see beneath the skin or mucous membrane or in an internal organ also. Okay. So this is about purpura. Now severity of the purpura based on platelet count. How can you grade it? Okay, purpura with the low platelet count is thrombocytopenic purpura. As now there are the three grades: mild, moderate, and fulminating. What is mild? That is, the platelet count is less than 50,000. In this case, the spontaneous bleeding can take place. Okay, but in case of moderate, where the count of the platelet is less than 10,000, there the chances of severe bleeding is there. And in case of fulminating purpura, the count of platelet is less than 1000. And here, if this very severe bleeding also can take place, and the patient can also go for the death. Okay. Thank you.